regarding. Okay, let's try this again. Welcome, everybody, to the True North Dreaming 2025 speaker announcement and Ask Us Anything. We've already gone through this first slide, so the information's there if you need it, if you're watching the recording. And no, that's not a real representation of the skyline of Vancouver, but it is a representation of some of the more popular buildings that you'll see when you come to Vancouver. And alrighty. So our agenda for this evening is what is True North Dreaming? We'll go through that, why we are holding it in Vancouver, um, our organization and conference board, uh, information on where to register, where you can stay. We're going to get into the Hoover app, which if you've already registered for a ticket, you're already slightly familiar with it, but you may not realize that it will be more than just the place that you registered. So we'll get into that. We'll get into the main event, the speaker announcements. We'll talk a bit about volunteering at True North Dreaming, things you can see and do around Vancouver, and how you can help us spread the word. And then we'll end up with some Q&A at the end. And if you stay till the end of this meeting, we'll see what the surprise is. So, what is True North Dreaming and why Vancouver? So, True North Dreaming was the brainchild of a number of former community group leaders from across the country, literally from Newfoundland to Vancouver. Was first registered and organized in 2018 and registered as a nonprofit organization. It is completely run by volunteers. We are all volunteers who are working on this. And the first event was in Ottawa in 2019. And that little beaver you saw on the very first slide, and you may see a few more times tonight, is our mascot Gord, who was named in honor of the tragically hip Gord Downey. And if you don't know who the tragically hip or Gord Downey is, you might want to look that up. It's one of our more popular singing groups in Canada, and just, you know, we may get into some trivia. Not tonight, but towards the event. So good, one of those good things to know. Uh, for those of you from outside of Canada, you may not realize that we are actually the second largest country in the world in land mass, because our population is actually smaller than the state of California. We are called True North Dreaming to celebrate to help us celebrate our diverse and vibrant communities that we have. And we are actually from coast to coast to coast because we have the Atlantic, the Pacific, and the Arctic Ocean as our coasts. Uh, but the name is actually inspired by a line out of our national anthem that we celebrate the true north, strong and free. And the initial group decided they wanted to rotate the event's location each year. Um, so, as I said, the first one was in Ottawa in 2019. In 2020, it was supposed to be in Vancouver, but there was that little event that happened back then. And it just didn't get back off the ground until the new board took it over last year. So we felt that we should try again and still hold it in Vancouver in 2025. And we're committed to bringing it back east. How far east, still to be determined, but we do need True North Dreaming 25 to be a success in order to be able to do so. Our True North Dreaming Board of Directors and Committee Chairs, a number of us actually have our brand new board committee Zoom backgrounds, thanks to Jana. Um, I'm Kathy Waterworth. For those of you who don't know me, I'm the board chair and the conference organizer, and I'm also looking after the venue and event space. Amy Morris, where's Amy? She's waving there. She's the board vice chair and in charge of the content committee. Claire Lamb, who I don't believe is on the call. Nope, I don't see her, is our treasurer and looks after sponsorships. So if any of you have companies that are going for offering to do sponsorship, that's who you'll be talking to. Jana Walker, so she's up in the corner on mine. She's our board secretary and looking after both registration and swag and promotion. Kareen, I think I saw you on here. Yep, there she's waving. She's looking after our social media and marketing. And last but not least, there's Nina, who's looking after community relations and the event volunteers. And fun fact is that three of the board members at one point in their lives have lived in Vancouver. And Jana lives just across the border, just outside of Seattle and Bainbridge Island. So she's, almost a Vancouverite. Not quite, but close. Um, but right now, we actually represent three provinces and one state. So diverse group of ladies on the board. Uh, so just generally, if you want to grab a couple of quick things, our website bit.ly is the blue one on the right. Registration bit.ly's, or sorry, QR code, not bit.ly, um, is on the left. If you don't already have this information, but again, the website's fairly easy. It's TrueNorthDreamin without the G.com. If you already registered and you're trying to figure out some idea where to stay, I mean, Vancouver has lots of hotels in the downtown area, but we do have some special rates at the UBC residences. Uh, the Gage Signature Studio and residences should give you the first hint. These are student residences, so they're pretty much set up with a little bit of, I think, kitchen and fridge capacity. But the Signature Studio is a single bed, or it's a queen size bed. So, you know, it's meant for a maximum of two guests. The West Coast Suites has a king size bed and a queen sofa bed in the living room. So it allows for four guests per suite, much more suited for the ones who want to share. The Holiday Inn Vancouver Center, um, not to be confused with the Holiday Inn downtown, but the Vancouver Center, it's on Broadway. We have a deal with them for a one queen standard room for a 250 night and two double beds for 270 a night. The 1-800 number is there for the Holiday Inn, but if you go to truenorthdreamin.com/venue and scroll down, you will find all the links that you need for booking your accommodation. And Jenna, do you want to do this one or?
Sure,
Because it will go into the rest of your slides. So
that's fine. In case you don't know how to grab your ticket to the event, if you are not speaking and are not volunteering, go to the website that Kathy shared earlier, click on Buy Your Tickets, and select Board's Friends. Do not select nonprofit unless you meet the criteria. Consent to the terms and conditions, complete the buyer and ticket holder information, check the box if you would like to view other attendees of the events and have yourself be visible to others attending, which I highly recommend. That's a great way to start networking in the Whova app once it goes live. And complete your payment info and make sure you let them know you are not a robot. And then click register. Super easy. It's not rocket science. I think anybody can figure it out. And also remember what email you use to register because you will need it when you go go to set up your Whova app.
And I'll just add one more thing that usually when you finish registering for your ticket, it asks you if you want to promote that you have bought the ticket on social media. Please, 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 if you haven't already done so and or haven't already bought your ticket, please just share one of it's like sharing that you got a badge on Trailhead. Just share it on social media to say you're attending and encourage other people to join you. Okay. Alrighty, Jana.
All right. I am going to also drop the link in the chat so you can grab it easily, but this is the URL to download. I'm sorry, this is the URL to get a user guide for how to use the Whova app. And make sure when you download your Whova app, either on your iPhone or Android, that you use the same email that you used to register with. Um, some of us have many, many different emails. I think I have 3 or 4 different Whova accounts because of it. So just make sure you're registering for the correct one for this conference. You may have registered for other conferences with other emails. All right, next one's Kathy.
Oh,
Maybe.
come on. There we
There we
go.
go. So on this URL, you will find easy step-by-step instructions on how to sign up in the Whova app, how to find the event, and then it'll pretty much walk you through. There's a cool little video at the beginning of the URL too that you can just watch. Super informative. And then Kathy, if you want to go to the next one. And then it'll show you here, once you find your event, how to join the event. On the very last image, it shows you there, join and be part of it. And so once you do that, I highly recommend interacting with other people, finding the sessions you want. Those usually go up pretty quickly or right away. And you can follow those sessions and interact with them. Some speakers will put up little surveys or little polls at the beginning of the Whova registrations period so that you can ask questions or give feedback, and that helps the speaker know how to gauge their session to the audience that will be there. And then also make sure you participate in the networking. There's usually all kinds of after parties or before parties or events. That's a really good way to see if people are going somewhere fun to dinner the night before, or if there's an event, there might be a community group event the night before, or maybe there's something going on the day after and you don't want to miss out. So make sure you follow and network in those different areas. And that's it, I think, for the Whova app.
Yep. And we hope to have it ready to go live as of Friday. So keep your eyes open for links and or emails. Usually if people are registered, you'll get the information. Um, and because you can't actually sign up for the app until you have registered for True North Dreaming. Alrighty, so main event. Content committee, are you ready? Uh,
Absolutely. Thanks so much,
Alrighty.
Kathy.
Okay.
Um,
Just tell me I'm gonna tell me when to flip slides and I'll just
okay,
do that.
great. Well, first of all, I want to say thanks so much to presenters. Many of you are on the call today. Without presenters, we don't have a conference. It's very exciting to get a chance to present at a Dreamin event. Many of you are international speakers already, so thank you so much for attending. Some of you are newer speakers, and we're here to support you. So if you're looking to practice your session, we will help you out with that. So I want to mention the committee members. We have Amy, Travis, Lucy, Payne, Scott, and myself, Fred Chang. We've been working to make sure that we have content that is wide coverage, having wide coverage of topics, and of great interest to people right now. So let's take a look at them. Let's go ahead and go to the first slide. All right, so first of all, we are looking at making sure that we have a lot of different areas to cover. As admins, you know that there are always a lot of issues that as an admin that you have to deal with. So as a conference, we cover the whole gamut, right? So let's take a look at the first set of admin sessions, admin low code, no code. We've got, it's really nice to have some national speakers. We've got Amy Oplinger Singh, Heather Black from England, Great Britain, and Aaron Creer. Now, I want to highlight one in particular, I have to say. Building a first fan experience with Marketing Cloud by Andy Golden. This is because for myself, many people know I live in Ottawa now, but I immigrated from Philadelphia. So I have to say that, so this presentation is on a project that he worked on with the Philadelphia Eagles. Go Eagles, again, if anyone knows, the upcoming Super Bowl. Right? And it combines that, I used to live in that area, we watch the Eagles, and it was a big part of people's lives out there, and Marketing Cloud, which is my latest challenge. So I'm really excited. I'm really excited to hear what he has to say. The next set of admin sessions, again, wide ranging. We have new speakers as well as experienced speakers. The one that I wanted to highlight in particular, I wanted to say a special thank you to Adam Olshansky, MVP. It's great when we can have MVPs with us at Dreamin events. And here he's covering one of my favorite topics, helping demystify code for admins. I don't know about you, but if you've written flows, then you have already taken a step towards understanding code, right? And I want people to know that you've already taken a step to understanding the way that code is written, the way that it's structured, the ideas behind it, right? And so these kind of sessions are really helpful for admins to up their game. All right, so the last set of admin sessions, we have, again, a good range of presentations. Travis, do we have Travis with us today?
Yeah, right.
No, Travis here. Yeah, Travis had some sessions that he was interested in. Why don't you comment here?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, if you could, just click that. There we go. Yeah, so this one I thought sounded really cool. Salesforce Flow Game Jam, build low-code skills by making games in Salesforce with John Sayer and Beth Howard. So this one is really neat. What they're going to do is review 3 games that they've made on Salesforce using declarative tools, mainly flows. They're going to show us how those games work, and then we're going to break out into groups, and we're going to get a chance to design our own game. So I think this one is going to be really fun. I'm looking forward to seeing what these games are all about.
Cool. Thanks, Travis. Now the next section. Okay, now we get to the hot topic, right? Okay, so can we make a drinking game out of how many times people are going to say agent force or agentic?
I think we'll be in trouble if we do that.
Or we can make it a little lighter, make it a bingo game. I don't know. But I tell you, this is why people come to Dreamin events, though, not just to hear the hype, right? We'll get training on Agentforce for sure, but to get real stories of people like you, customers, consultants who are working in the trenches, actually implementing, right? So Travis, I think there was another one here that you wanted to touch on.
Yeah, lots of great sessions in this area. One that kind of stood out to me beyond sales. I'm a former salesperson, always love the sales stuff, but this one's actually going beyond sales. So mastering Agentforce sales coach for innovative use cases, Andrew Wilson and Shreya Gupta. So I think we all kind of know what, sales coach is going to be, an agent force, coaching your reps. But this is going to take us past that. And we're going to see some use cases for sales coach that aren't actually sales related. So I think this is going to be really neat. There's going to be some demos and some interactive role play. So it's going to be really cool to see a different use case for this tool that was specifically made for sales coaching.
That's great. Thanks so much. Then you have even more AI and data cloud. And here, okay, I have to admit, this is a little bit of one of my great areas of interest here. But I won't speak for myself. Maybe I'll ask Travis to speak a little bit.
So this one, I think, I'm definitely looking forward to. Our own Fred Chang is going to be presenting this session. And it's really neat. So data cloud behind the scenes of a real world implementation. So, I don't know about you all, but I've heard a ton about data cloud, keep hearing about it, but I haven't had the chance to be involved in an implementation. I've kind of seen it here and there, but haven't really gotten to see, the inner workings of it. Fred is going to, take us through the implementation that they did at the CREA, so Canadian Real Estate Association. And he's going to, show us the good things that happened, but also some of the things that maybe didn't work out as anticipated with their implementation. So yeah, really excited to learn a little bit more about data cloud, see the behind the scenes there.
And I'll just point out that Melissa Shepard is yet another MVP joining us.
Oh, good. Thank you, Kathy.
And a CTA too. So
yes. So yes, and we honestly, we're not. It's true. We're not reading through each session, and I invite people. Of course, this will be getting up into Whova, and so people will get a chance to see the details of each presentation. The next section, developer and architect. I want to make sure that people know that we want to make sure that people of various backgrounds feel like there are presentations for them. So Amy, I think you had a couple comments on these next couple of slides.
Yeah, so we have some really great topics that are geared specifically for developers and architects, ranging from security, Hyperforce, some different topics, org mergers, which is something that's pretty interesting. I've been through a project that involved an org merger, so I know how fun those can be. And then we even have a few sessions, if you can click and go to the highlighted ones. So we have Matt Myers, who's also actually a certified technical architect. He is also a security expert. He wrote a book on it as well. I'm sure he'll be selling copies at the conference. He'll be doing not just a session on an architect's guide to advanced security techniques, but also a workshop on how to pass the technical architect exam. So anyone who's striving to become a CTA, I'm sure Matt will have some really great tips for you.
mm-hmm.
And then moving on to our other developer and architect sessions. We have some on architecture anti-patterns, harnessing data with APIs in Python, Apex sharing, data science involving data cloud, so some really interesting topics. And then we also have under this section, Melissa Shepard. As Kathy said, she's an MVP and a technical architect as well. She will be presenting about the MuleSoft Anypoint Code Builder. So yeah, lots of excitement for developers and architects as well.
Thanks, Amy. I have to say, I remember when I first got involved in the Salesforce ecosystem, sometimes I'd listen to different podcasts to get a sense of the ecosystem, and even developer podcasts. Like, okay, maybe 20% of it I had or half at that point, I had no idea what they were talking about, but it gave me a real sense, right? A real sense of the breadth of things that are possible with Salesforce. All right, so Marketing Cloud. So we're covering Marketing Cloud too. It's an interesting year for Marketing Cloud. There's so much buzz about Marketing Cloud moving on to core. not only I think is it great to talk, to see some presentations, but hey, just talking to other people between sessions, you learn things. I remember my last Dreamin event, we were looking at CPQ, and I just talked to some people that I knew it really well. And boy, I learned a lot from that. I think it's great to go to Dreamin events and just talk to people. So I encourage you to really engage, talk to people between the sessions, after the sessions, having drinks afterwards. Anyway, I wanted to highlight one session here. We're so proud to be hosting the Czech Dreaming organizer and speakers, Christina Turner and Hanna Nimchuk. Right, so we are really lucky to have people coming out here talking about their experience, in this case, auditing Marketing Cloud. I'm always interested to see how other people are using and have structured Marketing Cloud. So it's a great opportunity to do that. Now, nonprofits, they make a good percentage of Salesforce customers and Canadian Salesforce customers. And you see this actually in our board, right? Has people who working with nonprofits or work for nonprofits. And it's represented in our presentations as well. Lucy, I think you had some you wanted to highlight for us.
I do. And just in general, I think that all of these speakers are going to offer helpful nuggets and show us some tricks that will be useful for nonprofits. And the particular session that I'm thinking about is maximizing nonprofit impact with Salesforce Nonprofit Cloud with Mitchell Swales. And it's Nonprofit Cloud has been a big lift for many in the nonprofit sector. And so I'm excited to hear what Mitchell has to say, if he can shed more light and insight and show us examples that we can apply that will make it a little bit easier for those of us who are working in nonprofit and some of us certainly who are experimenting more with Nonprofit Cloud.
Thank you, Lucy. The next section I wanted to touch on career and professional development. I know sometimes I've gone to Dreamin events where there's a real focus on people entering the ecosystem. Well, we know the job market has become tight. So it's making it even harder. So it's even more reason to understand how others have made it in, but also how people are moving up in their careers. And I'm really excited by how many sessions are about that, really upping your skills and upping your career skills. Lucy, I think you also found one here that you wanted to highlight.
Yes, and as you said, I'm also excited to hear strategies for general career growth and development from some of these other speakers. I'm especially thinking about the ripple effect, small wins leading to big changes with Midori Yalori. I feel sometimes we get so locked into all of the work that a project entails that we don't often appreciate the small wins and gains that we've made. And so I'm excited to sort of hopefully learn some tricks or small steps that I can take and learn how to recognize those, build on them, and feel self-encouraged rather than sort of, holy cow, there's still so much to do.
Another section of different people, groups of within Salesforce. I think back to when I got started. I thought, oh, Salesforce. So if you want to work in Salesforce, you're a Salesforce admin. Like that's it. Well, no. When you start working for a larger company, you see that there are a lot more roles other than just Salesforce admin. So we have a range of presentations here. And I think, Lucy, again, you had one that you wanted to share with us.
Yes, well, and for the first two that are mentioned, again, the idea about managing projects and some of the structures that you might be able to help yourself manage them better. As somebody who's fairly new and inexperienced, I think that will be really helpful. I'm also really looking forward to hearing from Daniel Gorton speaking about delivering empathetic and joyful user experiences. He's been writing a lot about gratitude and finding joy, and certainly we've all experienced those UIs that aren't well constructed and leave us underwhelmed or are extremely hard to navigate. And so I'm interested to hear methods that we can implement, strategies that we can use to make our experiences, our users' experiences, just completely amazing. So I'm hopeful that he's going to bring some useful thoughts and tools that we can all learn from.
Thank you, Lucy. I feel the same way. I'm really, once you've done this for a little while, you go beyond the basics. Okay, how can I make this really a good experience, a really positive experience for my users? So our last section of presentations, Slack, OmniStudio, and other. So we want to include everyone, right? So here we're even including Slack and OmniStudio, right? All right, so I just wanted to highlight one in particular I was interested in. As somebody who works in a company that is a Microsoft and MS Office based, right? So many companies they use Office and they just use everything that comes with Office. So Teams, right? Sorry, unfortunately, we don't use Slack. We use Teams. So I'm grateful to someone who's paying attention to us. And so Adam actually had written a Salesforce Ben article. That's one of the ways I ran across his name. I thought was really good in helping to explain a little bit about the different ways that you can integrate Teams. And I appreciate that, and I appreciate him coming to the conference to present. So I want to wrap up just by saying thank you so much to all the presenters. I really appreciate you putting the time into this. You should know that your organizing committee is as diverse as the presenters. And we love having all of you come with us, spend some time with us in Vancouver. Thanks so much. Looking forward to seeing you all.
Hey, thank you, Fred and content team. And so now we are going to switch to, actually, Fred's still on this team too. So, but the event volunteer team, Nina or Fred, I'm not sure which one of you is doing this one, but take it away.
Yeah. Hey everyone. So yeah, as Kathy mentioned, Fred's also a part of this team in addition to me and Rahul. And I'll just be going over the different roles that we have, because while we do have a board and we have our wonderful organizing committee, we also need volunteers on the day off to make sure that our event goes off without a hitch. So here are some of the roles that will be having the sign up, I think around mid-March. So, and people can choose whatever shifts they would like, but these are a handful of the roles that we think, will be representative of the ones that will be released in mid-March. So of course we have conference setup and registration, it's pretty self-explanatory. With room host, and we will have someone who will support the speakers and introduce them. And then the room host support person will be likely a UBC student or just a student in general who will support the room host, if there anything, and if there's anything that the room host needs, that person will help out with that. So we would like to have at least a couple of people per room just to make sure everything is going off smoothly. Of course, we'll need the event MC. That is a big role and a really impactful role. And the demo jam and MC appropriately is also really important. Ask me people or people who will just, answer any questions any of the attendees have. If anyone is lost, if they're looking for a room, if they want to know when a session is or where a session is, that's the person that they'll go to. And then voluntary coordinator and mentor, that will be the person who will be just making sure that we have a plan for how all of the volunteers are going to be carrying out their roles. And if they need any support with carrying out their roles, that's the person to go to. raffle ticket walking around sales. That will be the person who will be selling raffle tickets and encouraging people to buy the tickets. And we have some cool, prizes included if you buy those raffle tickets. So stay tuned for what those prices will be. And then sponsor support, similarly, will be supporting the sponsor and just introducing the sponsor. And then barrel room, that will be the person who will be overseeing various sessions inside in different rooms. And we have the student volunteer coordinator as well, who will be recruiting and providing a welcoming experience to the students. As I mentioned, we will be having student volunteers. We are based in UBC, so it'll be a good opportunity for them to gain exposure to different companies and it'll be a good networking opportunity for them. And lastly, we have swag distribution to distribute the awesome swag we have. Next slide, please.
Yep.
All right, next we'll go into committee. So the committee, bit of a tongue twister there, involves me and Ala. And if you can go to the next slide. So I know when I first joined the call, there was some questions about the grass grind. So there's a lot of cool things to do in Vancouver. One of the one that I wanted to highlight first is the Museum of Anthropology at UBC, because the event is at UBC. So that would be the first place I would recommend in terms of checking out. And then Granville Island, I know there are quite a few people who are interested in whale watching. So there are a lot of whale watching tours that depart from there. And then we have the Capilano Suspension Bridge, as well as the Lynn Canyon Suspension Bridge. They are, they're pretty, I've only been to one of them, but one of them is a bit of a theme park, the Capilano one. So you get a little more than the suspension bridge. And the other one is a part of the provincial park. So that one is free. So whatever, if you have a budget, then choose accordingly. And then if you want to see the Vancouver skyline, the Cypress Mountain Lookout is a great place to see it from. It's a really cool, you get a really great 360 view of the city. And then we have Stanley Park, pretty iconic. When you think of Vancouver, that's probably one of the first places you think of. So it's actually voted by TripAdvisor as one of the best parks in the world. So apparently give Central Park a run for its money. But highly recommend you go there as well. Grass Mountain, I know that was mentioned earlier, but we have, if you want to check out Nature Stairmaster, then I recommend checking out Grass Mountain, because you can do that. And if anyone's ever done it, they know. It's called the Grass Grind for a reason. And Vancouver has a lot of different beaches. I would say the most iconic one would be Kitsilano Beach. And if you're into art, we have Vancouver Art Gallery and Gastown. Great shopping, restaurants, anything you want. Next slide, please. Go ahead.
I'll add that Granville Island's also great for restaurants as well. Yep. Alrighty. And of course, whale watching, if the whales are going. I know some people are very excited about that. There's also in Stanley Park, the Vancouver Aquarium, but I don't think they have any of the whales anymore. They used to have whales, but they don't anymore. But it's still a worthwhile place to go see.
All right.
I love the picture, by the way.
Yes, I do too. So we do have, it is called Beautiful British Columbia for a reason. So if you have more than a day or two to spend in the area, highly recommend you check out Whistler. It's probably, I'm a little biased, but I would say probably the best ski resort in North America. We did have the Winter Olympics there in 2010. And you have Garibaldi Park, which is where this picture was taken. Specifically, the hike is called Panorama bridge. So highly recommend that. It looks really magical and serene. So that is my favorite park in British Columbia. So that's a little biased there, but I hope you can see why. And that is quite close to Whistler, as is Squamish. If you enjoy rock climbing, that's the rock climbing capital of Canada. So highly recommend that. And there's a great mining museum there too. And Victoria, the capital of British Columbia, and lots of great architecture there, lots of historical stuff there. And if you're into surfing, Tofino is the place to go. Yes, Canada does have surfing, a little different than it would be in California, but still we have surfing. And yeah, great. If you have the chance, please, I would highly recommend rent a car and check out Vancouver Island, do a road trip. It's one of the best road trips in the world.
And I concur. I haven't been surfing, but my son has, so I can vouch for the surfing.
And sometimes when you take a ferry, you can also spot the whales. Sometimes, not always.
Not always, but yeah. The ferry and taking the ferry is just fun.
Mhm.
Alrighty. Well, thank you very much, everybody. Just some things that you can, whether you're a speaker or volunteer or attendee, um, we'd like this to be a successful event. So have some ideas on how you can help us. Make sure to post if whether you're attending, speaking, or sponsoring on all the social media channels that you happen to belong to. You don't need to belong to all of them. Just spread the love. Uh, you can do it after you register, but don't forget to also follow us. We are on all the different social media, including Blue Sky, X, Threads, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. Did I miss any? Probably. No, I don't think I missed. Oh, no, Karine says no, I didn't. So good already. So follow us and react to and repost our posts. That helps spread the word. We have, only so many followers, but if you repost to your followers, we just spread the information even farther. And I don't know if you knew, but if you do a repost that includes either your thoughts or quotes, depending on which social media, it actually has a greater reach than just a straight repost with no comments. Make sure you tag True North Dreaming when you can and it's appropriate. I know a couple of people have done that this week, so it really helps pump up our visibility. And don't forget your friends and colleagues. If you're coming, bring a friend, bring two friends, encourage colleagues, and especially if you know people in Vancouver area, whether you're from Vancouver or not, um, it's right there. Encourage them to go. You don't need to travel to Europe or Asia or down to the U.S. To an attend event. It is a truly Canadian event, and we'd love to we, as much as we love our international guests, we want to see the Canadians take advantage of it too because we don't have many of them up here. So that is sort of the bulk of it. Is there anybody has questions? I am having trouble seeing the chat. It keeps disappearing on me. So are there any questions in the chat that we need answered?
There are not.
No. Okay. Does anybody have any questions? Feel free to come off mute to Karine.
Yeah, thanks, Kathy. Hi, everyone. Thanks to all our speakers. I just wanted to say that I put it in the chat that please send your pictures to Karine at TrueNorthDreamin.com so you can customize your flyers and send them back to you to post on social media. Thank you.
Okay. And just a reminder, I think most of the speakers who are on here right now have did register for their speaker ticket, but please just double check with your co-speakers, co-presenters. A few of them are still missing their registrations, so please make sure that you encourage them to get that taken care of as soon as possible. Okay, any other questions? Do you have an estimate of conference attendance? Uh, well, let's put it this way. We're hoping for 350. I don't know if we'll get there. So, but we still have, we're still 3 months out. So we're hoping that the numbers start going up now that the speakers have announced. And I have some late breaking news. So unfortunately, I don't have a nice little flyer, but I do have our first keynote speaker confirmed. And it is confirmed that Joshua Burke, will be one of our keynote speakers. He was supposed to be one of our keynote speakers in 2020, and it has just been confirmed that he will be one for 2025. I wanted to say four, and it's like, nope, we're in the new year. No. So, yeah, we hope to be able to announce our other keynote speakers in the coming weeks. So hopefully that will come through. If you ever heard him speak, you'll know why we're excited because he's great. He's a great speaker. So I'm looking forward to that. Any other questions that anybody may have?
There's a question, Kathy, about how many keynote speakers there will be.
We're hoping for somewhere between three and 3 to 4. Well, or I mean, one keynote may not be necessarily a speaker thing. It may be a slightly different format. But yeah, that's what we're looking at. So we're just waiting to hear back from, it's Salesforce's year end. They're a little busy. Those of you who know, end of January was year end for them, so they're like probably all going, ah. Um,
I do
yeah.
have a question. Well,
Mhm.
it's probably super early to ask, but would when do we expect a sequence of schedule for the presenters? Because the event is split into 2 days, right?
Yep. Okay, content committee. How's that going? I know they were starting to work on it. Any updates? Any news
No,
on that?
Amy's here. Yeah, we have we're in the preliminary stages for that right now. So it should be fairly soon. I know we started working on it at our meeting last week.
Got it. I know it's too early to ask.
No, it's okay.
That's
It's a
okay. It
good
should be
question.
coming shortly.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, we are absolutely working on it, and we will put it'll be posted into Hoova. So once we get it, we'll definitely and it should be soon. We'll post it to you.
Yeah.
Got it. Thank you.
Yeah. And just always with the proviso that things may be subject to change because of, people dropping out or, things, circumstances changing. We'll try to keep it fairly um, fairly close to our first iteration that gets posted, but that will, like I said, just be aware. We'll try not to make too many changes, but it may happen. Yes, Sheba, you will need to submit your slides. Uh, Probably not until the beginning of April. Everybody will. We're still working on all the details while we still figure out whether all our spots are filled, but you will be assigned a session owner, monitor. I don't remember what we called it. But somebody who will help and guide you, and all the information will come out with the slides and when they'll need to be in. You may need to do dry runs or may not, depending on how people are feeling. But you will need to submit your slides probably somewhere early April, or at least a few weeks before the event, just to make sure that we have a copy of it. If they need to be updated before the actual presentation, that's fine. But just so in case something happens, at least there's a copy that we have for your sessions. And yes, speakers, you will need to provide your own laptops. And hopefully we'll have the right connectors that will work with everybody. But, who knows if they change it between now and then. You know how they change cords. Everybody has that, drawer full of cords that fits your laptop from 5 years ago, right? That doesn't fit anything else.
Yeah, I'd say if you don't have an HDMI port, then you should probably bring your own adapter just in case.
Yeah. Yeah. So you will need your own laptop. I don't think there are any sponsors on here, but we are. And are there any? We're getting close to time, so are there any other questions? Because I have just a couple of more things. Okay. I just want to highlight some of the sponsors that we already have in place. We already have 2 platinum sponsors, Momentum and Fundraise Up, and our 3 bronze sponsors, Dryad Receding, Salto, and Titan. That purple QR code is the link to the sponsor information page where if your company might be interested, they can go there to do it. It's also just if TrueNorthDreaming.com/sponsorship or sponsors is another place that you can always do it. We are looking not just for the high level platinum, gold, silver, and bronze sponsors, but we're also looking for sponsors for things like lanyards or receptions or like the smaller items. So if you or your company might be able to help us out, please reach out. We would definitely appreciate the assistance. And so the one last surprise, I think most of you are either volunteers or already speakers, but I'll let you for until midnight Pacific Standard Time. So that's 6 hours from now, because it is only 6 o'clock out there, right? It's been a long day. I'm not sure about my times. We are offering a special 20% off the Gord's Friends ticket price. You need to use the thank you 25 exclamation mark. It is case sensitive. If you don't have a ticket or you have a friend who wants a ticket and could use this code, you're welcome to use it. There's a limited number of tickets, and it's only good until midnight. But, please take a screenshot or the bit.ly or whatever. And, please encourage people to buy tickets. And so with that, I want to thank you to all my committee members and presenters for today. Thank you for all the work you've been doing in the background and for presenting today. I want to thank Jana for revamping the slide deck for 2025 so we could use it and like I said, our lovely board member backgrounds. And thank you, all of you, whether you're volunteering, speaking, or just considering attending. Want to thank you for joining us this evening for this special event. and hope to see you in Vancouver in just less than 3 months away. So, and pray for better weather because apparently they have snow right now. And I want it to be gone by Thursday. So pray for that too. Anyways, as we have nothing else, I'll say good night and thank you, everybody, or good evening or good morning, wherever people are. But we, like I said, see you in Vancouver in a few months. Bye-bye.
Bye,
Thank
everyone.
you.
Thank
Bye,
you. Have a
everyone.
good night.
Bye, everyone.